Hello and welcome to the Beacons Ice Arena for a Tuesday afternoon matinee. We've got the visiting Connecticut College Camels and your UMass Boston Beacons here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. It's been a pretty fun all-time series with the Camels and Beacons tied 5-5-1. Connecticut College a huge win a year ago, but the Beacons 2 seasons ago earned one of their biggest wins in program history right here at the Beacons Ice Arena. Let's take a look right now at the highlights from that game. 2 seasons ago in 2014, it was the Beacons downing Connecticut College 2-0 in the 7th annual Codfish Bowl tournament title game for the first ever Codfish Bowl title win for UMass Boston, a 2-0 win. And we'll talk more about the all-time series after this.
Tries to shove it home.
And welcome back to the Beacons Ice Arena. That was the 2014 Codfish Bowl a year ago. As we take a look at the all-time series, Con College got their revenge, and in a big way, a 7-0 victory against the Beacons last December in a very cold part of the season for UMass Boston in which they couldn't buy a win. The 7-0 loss, their largest loss since an 8-0 loss against Norwich back in 2010. The Beacons, though, have been very strong against Con College here at home, 4-1-1. As the Beacons have lost 3 of their past 4 overall, they'll look to get a win against Con College to take the all-time series lead right back. We'll move along and take a look at the team statistics from this one. And a couple things jump off the paper. 3.06 goals per game for the visiting Camels. That's been one of their best strengths this season. They've had 2 games in which they scored 19 goals combined, 10 goals in a win over Johnson & Wales, 9 more last week against Salem State. That's why they rank in the top 10 in the country. They're also close to the top 10 in goals against and power play. For the Beacons, they've been very, very even over the past couple of games. A little bit of high, a little bit of low. The Beacons don't need to get their scoring up against these NESCAC opponents. UMass Boston right now just 2-5 in non-conference. This is their final non-conference game of the season. Lusbar 1-3 against NESCAC opponents. They beat Colby, and then 3 straight losses over the past month, and a little bit more losses to Bowdoin, Amherst, and Trinity in their last game out. A Trinity team that Conn College just defeated twice over the past weekend down in Connecticut. We'll look at the team leaders right now, and both of these teams are about balance. For the Beacons, a couple players with 5 goals, Kaylee Beauregard and Jenny Curry. Curry's been hot, 3 goals in her last 3 games. Beauregard hasn't scored since first semester. Beacons with 4 different players with 7 points. On the other side for Connecticut College, they've gotten good production from Stephanie Izzy and Elena Gualtieri. Gualtieri among the nation's leaders in terms of freshmen in scoring. She's got a team-high 10 points with 4 goals and 6 assists. Izzy's had another good season. Last year, she was 7th in the country with her 7 power play goals. This season, she has 6 goals, 22 for her career. We'll take a look right now going forward for UMass Boston as the Beacons will return to conference play. Trips to New England College and Salve Regina in the upcoming future, and then this Saturday we'll be back right here at the Beacons Ice Arena as the Beacons host a St. Michael's team they have dominated over the past couple years. Got to look at our player to watch right there in the middle. She's the player wearing the C, Alexandra Carlos, the 5th-year senior, 2nd year as a captain. She's had a goal in each of the past 2 games, plus 3 overall, and she's been really strong in the faceoff dot. 37 of 61. She was huge in the game against Trinity, a game the Beacons really struggled. 14 of 20 from the faceoff dot. And with Jane Morissette continuing to be out of the lineup with an illness, it'll be Carlos taking a majority of the faceoffs for UMass Boston, where she's really shown. Right now, before we get to the starters, we'll take a look at Lambert's Rainbow Fruit. With 3 locations across Massachusetts, including one just down the road on Morrissey Boulevard, Lambert's Rainbow Fruit has been serving the UMass Boston community since before the idea of a school was ever brainstormed. Whether you're looking for a sandwich on the go from our award-winning deli, the freshest fruits and vegetables in the state, or any kind of groceries, we've got it. Educated by tradition, driven by pride. Lambert's Rainbow Fruit. Right now, we'll bring you the Connecticut College starters as they're getting introduced out on the ice. And for Connecticut College, they're going to go with a line that's very good on both sides of the puck. These aren't necessarily their top scorers. All these players are capable, though. Ashley Anktil, Lily Conley, and Michaela Igo, the top line. Paige Michelle, who was actually just named to the D3.com Team of the Week. The freshman defenseman had 3 points last week, and Connecticut College allowed just 1 goal per game. And in net, it's the reigning NESCAC Player of the Week, Catherine Chester, the junior who had played in just 13 games in her first 2 seasons. Is having a big year, had back-to-back wins over the weekend. Her first 2 wins of the season, both coming against Trinity. We'll bring in the Beacon starters, and then we'll go to a commercial for the national anthem. UMass Boston tries to close out the non-conference schedule with the victory here against Connecticut College.
Alexandra Carlos, senior forward, Denver, Colorado.
Jenny Curry, senior forward, Charleston, Mass.
Hi, I'm Kristen Emery. I'm a junior from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and I play forward.
Alexa Capion, senior defenseman, Messina, New York.
Oh, I didn't see you there. Samantha Fallon, senior hockey player, Pembroke, Massachusetts.
UMass Boston was my first
Rachel
choice
Myette,
because when I
sophomore
came to the
goalie,
campus,
Pembroke,
I saw that there was
Massachusetts.
a lot of diversity, there's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy, I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
And the national anthem just completed here in Boston. Now we'll take a look at our keys to today's game as UMass Boston coming off a loss against the Trinity team that Connecticut College just swept this past weekend down in New London. The Beacons are going to need a good performance. It all starts in the transition game. The Beacons clogged it up. They couldn't get anything going outside of their own zone, struggled to be effective in creating offense. So we'll need to see a little bit cleaner of a game from UMass Boston, who's been off since last Tuesday, get that first goal. The Beacons have been good in the first period this season at +6, but -2 in the second, -3 in the third. They could really use the first goal and iron out some of the kinks heading into conference play this weekend. The Beacons would love this win, but the next 2 games matter even more. So we'll see what kind of performance the Beacons can put out there against a tough Connecticut College team. Right now we'll take a look at Lindsey Berman, the Beacons' first-year interim head coach, former Northeastern University Husky. She's 6-7 on the season, 33, 47, and 11 overall. She spent 3 seasons as an assistant coach, left last year, a year at Brown Division I school, and now she's back, as we'll get the opening faceoff coming here between Conley and Carlos, and it's won by Conley and the Connecticut College Camels. Connecticut College in their all-blue unis with a little bit of white. They're the navy blue with the Carolina blue stripes and the white numbers. UMass Boston, their home whites with the royal blue. Lots of blue going on in this one as Connecticut College almost forces a defensive zone turnover, and it's Samantha Fallon coming away with it. Onto the stick of Kristen Embry, who is one of 2 Beacons named to the 9th annual Codfish Bowl tournament all-tournament team, joined by Marin Brown, as Connecticut College will go the other way with the puck. It's Ashley Anktill with it. Anktill skating amongst 3 Beacons, and it's broken up there by Carlos. Carlos has a lot of family in town for this one, including her father, Rich, a former kicker in the National Football League with the Denver Broncos. As it's Fallon looking to go forward, tries to send it out towards center ice. We've got an offsides call coming here against Jordan Cross. Cross, the freshman out of Saugus, Massachusetts. And the faceoff will come in Connecticut College's zone. Beacons will bring out the second line right now. As will be Marin Brown, Kaylee Beauregard, and Lizzie Avison. The Beacons really missing Jane Morissette. They did get Kayla Smith back. Didn't play first semester for the Beacons, but she's back here in second semester. Was the Beacons' leading scorer a year ago with 16 points, 4 goals, and 12 assists, as it's controlled here by Connecticut College. Bringing it into the zone is Stephanie Izzy, although she loses it right at the blue line. A nice job by Christina Bovey, who's out there on the third line with Smith and Allie Bianchini. Controlled behind the net by Katie Jetter. Jetter ahead to Avison. Avison, the younger sister of Sydney Avison, the phenomenal player at Plattsburgh State. Shot on goal there for Rachel Myette. Easily makes the save. Myette, the transfer out of Quinnipiac University in her first year with the Beacons. Split time with Casey Scheibe, the senior for UMass Boston, throughout most of the first semester, but she started every game here to start second semester. As Bovey able to get around a player and has center ice. Bovey skating with Smith, sends it onto the stick of Smith, but it's broken up there by Kate Cole, one of the starters for Connecticut College. Comes back for Fallon. The Beacons close to having a full retinue of skaters, although they still just have 5 defensemen. When Jane Morissette comes back, Morissette, one of the Beacons' top players, they will have a full 18 skaters. As that backhand shot there off the stick of Smith goes just a little bit wide. Nice move there by Catherine Chester to read it the whole way. College being pressured here. Nice forecheck from the Beacons' third line. Fallon stepping up, unable to find the puck, and it's kept in there by Bianchini. Bianchini ahead for Jenny Curry. Curry looking to get in on net. Doesn't get the shot off. Puck still loose. Around there on the far post. Bianchini the first player to it. Leaving it for Curry. Curry has Carlos out in front if she can find her. Curry still with the puck. Out to the point for Capion. The hard shot goes a little bit wide off the stick of the senior captain from Messina, New York. Fallon looking for Bianchini. Couldn't quite handle it. Pokes it around for Curry. As it's 2 members of the Beacons' first line. And Bianchini out there for a long shift. Carlos back to Curry, is now Bianchini will look to come off, and Embry rushes out there for the Beacons. This Beacons top line has been very good as of late. They've scored 5 of the Beacons' last 6 goals dating back to the last 3 games. Curry's had 3 of them, Carlos the other 2, and Embry has had a lot of assists as of late, including 2 in the Beacons' 2016 opening win over SUNY Canton. Kaylee Beauregard almost had the pass interception. Instead, she gets it back from a teammate there, and now she'll try to forecheck as Connecticut College flips that one up into the netting, and it'll be an offensive zone faceoff as Cassie Hunter couldn't get away from the pressure. 16:29 to go, and we'll take a look right now at the Connecticut College coach. That's Kristen Steele in her 15th season. She led Connecticut College to their first ever home NESCAC playoff game a year ago, the 4-5 game, as they fell 3-2 in overtime to Bowdoin. So it was the final game for one of the top goalies in program history. Have her name somewhere in my notes, but she's gone on to play with the Boston Pride, member of the National Women's Hockey League. It's a big accomplishment for a player at any level, but especially to see a Division III player playing at the next level. As the face-off one back to Kat Armstrong, a nice move there by Brown, the sophomore from Brainerd, Minnesota. Kaylee Beauregard loses the puck right at center ice. Gets some help there from Ariel Galucci, one of the Beacons freshmen who's seeing a lot of ice time this year because the Beacons have such a short roster. Every player is active and dressed for today's game with the exception of Morissette, who's out with an illness, and Sarah Alenardo, who's out for the year, redshirting this season, as Beauregard will flip it in, and an easy play there for Chester. Chester made 71 saves on 73 shots in a pair of wins over Trinity. Did not play against Salem State in that big 9-1 victory. It's controlled behind the net here by Kelly Potter. Potter being pressured by Smith. Looks to get it over to Alina Gulateri, the team's leading point scorers. The soft shot from Capione is covered up by Chester and will get a stoppage. And going back to that note about the Connecticut College goalie, that was Kelsey Freilich, who earned the shutout, making 25 saves against the Beacons a season ago. Freilich now a member of the Boston Pride, as it's Curry onto the stick of Capione. Fallon up top, back to Curry. Shot from the circle goes a little wide, off the skate there of the referee, and that actually benefited the Beacons. Gene Goodwin and Michael Frost, the two referees today. The linesmen Rick Ernick and Chad Goyne. As UMass Boston's had the better end of play here in the opening 5 minutes. And that might be because they just have a bit of fresher legs. Conn College playing on Friday, Saturday. The Beacons off since last Tuesday. As Capione's attempted shot from the point is knocked down. Caitlin Paiva able to get in front of that one. To the near side where it's controlled by Lauren Bishop. Bishop trying to get out of the zone. Some good work from Carlos to keep it in. And finally coming out to clear it is Kate Cole. Fallon gains entry to the zone. Fallon still with it. Tries to go through a double team. Gets the puck back as the Beacons defensemen have, at least as of late, been very active in pitching forward. Bad turnover, but Embry sends it wide. Couldn't quite find her bearings there, and Chester saw it the whole way. To the far side, and it's the Beacons able to keep it in again. His Capione's shot doesn't go anywhere. Knocked down by Anna Bleck. Still fighting for the puck is Kaylee Beauregard as the Beacons lines once again shifted up a little bit, and it's onto the stick of Brown. Brown, her shot gets knocked out, goes to the ground, and loses it. As it's flipped up and knocked down by Avison, at least for a moment. And now a chance for a one-on-one here. Armstrong, the lone player back for the Beacons. It's Anktil, 5 not 15 for Connecticut College, but Armstrong wins that battle. Avison trying to get it out of her own zone. Has her pocket picked by Connolly. Connolly near side, sends it across the face of the goal mouth. And Rachel Myette almost had to make a save there. Nice job to break the play up by Avison. Avison tries to get it over to Beauregard. Beauregard will go off, and it's a 2-on-2 for Connecticut College. Kick save there as Michaela Igo had to go. And the pass just a little bit out of the reach there of Edie Moritz. Moritz out there on the fourth line today. She's joined by Alexandra Cruiser and Katie Barry. Armstrong tries to keep the puck in. Instead, it's turned over, and it's controlled here by Gulateri. Gulateri 2-on-1. Easy glove save there for Myette, who's looked very good in the early going. She struggled in the Beacons' last game against Trinity, allowing 3 goals in the opening 21-35 before really ironing out some of the kinks and keeping the Beacons in it in an eventual 3-1 loss. Alexander Carlos scoring the extra attacker goal with 19 seconds remaining. Shot right off the faceoff is knocked down as Jordan Cross tried to get a look. Back out to the point. A player goes down for Connecticut College, and a nice job to at least try to break it up. A 2-on-1 chance for the Beacons, but a great breakup this time by Olivia Good as Jenny Curry was going one-on-one with her, and Katie Barry had a little bit of an edge on a couple Connecticut College players on a possible 2-on-1. Good pass there, cross ice onto the stick of Stephanie Izzy. Izzy, one of those top-tier players for this Connecticut College team, leads the side with 6 goals. 22 for her career. This one shouldn't be an icing as Christina Bovey will get down there first. Also appeared to hit a Connecticut College player. Bovey in there with 2 camels, and Connecticut College comes away with it. Little tic-tac-toe passing to get it out of the zone, and now coming back to help out Samantha Fallon. A very nice play there by Kayla Smith, who's regaining some of the legs that she showed off all last season. One of the bigger players on the Beacons and one of the more talented players. She created a ton of good chances for UMass Boston last year, normally a top 6 skater. Bovey trying to keep the puck in the zone, unable to do so. Now gets some help there from Smith. Smith breaks it up at center ice, and it's controlled by Capione over to Fallon. Fallon at her own blue line has center ice, and she'll dump it in, and the Beacons will send at least 2 new players out there as it's Carlos and Embry joining Curry out on the ice. Curry, the former Colgate University player at the Division I level, now in her 3rd season with the Beacons. Embry digs it out of the corner, tries to find Carlos. Instead, it's intercepted by Paiva. Paiva over to the far side for Ann Bleck, and Carlos will get back to it. Carlos onto the stick of Fallon. Fallon looking forward, will flip it out towards center ice. Only player there for the Beacons is Curry. It takes a bounce off a Conn College stick, and it's into the Conn College bench. That one appeared to go off the hand of Jackie Clark, who freshman goalie out of Dorchester, Mass. for Conn College. I'm sure she would have loved to have seen some action in this one, and still might, but it appeared that that was the hand without her goalie glove on. Couldn't have felt too nice. So the Beacons win the faceoff just outside the Conn College zone, and we'll dump it back in. Just about midway through this first period, UMass Boston and Conn College knotted at ones as this one will go the length of the ice. It's a foot race, and Gallucci will easily win this one, and we'll get another offensive zone face-off for the Beacons. Make sure to stick with us for our intermission shows today. We've got a couple looks at some of the other Beacons teams on campus. We'll have stats for you, highlights, and everything that goes on really in Beaconville in those 15-minute segments. Hope to have a sideline report with Lindsey Berman, but that'll depend on whether or not some of our baseball players can make it back from their captain's practice, as it's already starting here. The spring teams beginning to get back on campus. Official practices won't start for another week or 2. But the captain's practices have started for the baseball team, the softball team, and lacrosse team not too far behind, as it still feels very much like winter in Boston with temperatures below 30 degrees. But spring sports, first spring contest of the year here in Beaconville, March 5th, the grand opening of Monin Park. The Beacons are set to host LaSalle College, snow pending. Capione with it in her own zone, into the center of the ice, still trying to keep with it onto the stick of Bianchini. Bianchini had to slow it down to avoid a potential offsides. Her shot gets knocked down. Now it's Smith on the far side being pressured there by Stephanie Izzy. Smith keeps it over to Bovey. Bovey, the 2-sport star for the Beacons, former all-region player with the UMass Boston softball team, although last year she was sidelined for much of the year and redshirted after breaking her finger 3 days before the season started. Controlled here by Conn College as Jordan Cross will have to slow it off. Leaves it for Paige Michelle, the D3.com Team of the Week honoree, and she'll dump it and head off to the bench as Conn College will get 4 new skaters out there. Capione ahead for Embry. Embry skating back into her own zone. Felt a lot of pressure there. Tries to find Fallon. Fallon wasn't looking for the pass behind her own net for Capione. 9:22 to go in this first period. UMass Boston and Conn College knotted at zeros as the Beacons close out non-conference play. This Conn College team at 4-5-1, not the greatest record, but they've played a ton of really difficult teams. 5 games already this season against ranked opponents, 0-4-1 during that span. It's a save there off the stick of Jill DeRouge, the senior out of Charlton, Mass. Conn College opened the season with a pair of losses against Amherst. Then they took a loss and a tie against Middlebury, all those games in conference play. And then a overtime loss to Castleton University out of the New England Hockey Conference, the newly formed hockey conference that the Beacons and Castleton are a part of. Armstrong being pressured in her own zone here by Lauren Bishop. Now it's Embry taking a bit of a hit, but not enough for a penalty there, as these two teams have been very clean in the opening frame, and that's a very good thing for the Beacons, who have struggled in special teams. Over the last 7 games, the Beacons have just 1 power play goal, and they've given up 6 goals on the penalty kill, numbers that Lindsey Berman, I'm sure, has worked on over the past couple games. As Carlos decks a College player getting back, and now it's flipped up into the Beacons bench, and we'll get a face-off coming just outside the Beacon zone. It's about 12 minutes into this first period as the face-off will actually come back in the Beacon zone. It'll be the second line for the Beacons as it's Brown in there with Michaela Igo. So second line for UMass Boston, first for Connecticut College, and it's Igo coming away with it after a brief scrum. Backhand shot a little bit wide of the net. Coming away with it is Avison. Avison tries to flip it out, but it's kept in by Michelle. Hard shot just over the glove of Myette. Not quite sure if she saw it, but it fluttered just a little bit high over the bar. Brown knocks down a College player. She's in there 1-on-3, able to win it back to Capione. Capione from the circle loses the puck, and now she has to come back. Myette forced to make the save as Lily Conley got a look there, and that is not where you want to turn the puck over. Nearly a great goal-scoring chance for Connolly, although she's not one of the top scorers on this College team. Lily Conley on the year, just 2 goals in 10 games, 8 for her career in 33 contests. Face-off won there by Stephanie Izzy. Back out top, shot knocked down by Bovey, who's had a nice game as Kelly Potter looked to take a shot from the point. Potter still with it, able to get it over to a teammate. Out to center ice, where Katie Jetter is in there along with Bovey. Jetter, another one of those transfers for UMass Boston. She attended Norwich University, one of the Beacons' rivals in the NHC, before transferring to UMass Boston this fall. Jetter out of Winthrop, Massachusetts. It's Kayla Smith, former Regina University player. As it's back to the near side for Bianchini. Bianchini able to stay on sides, tries to leave it off for Bovey. A nice break up there by Izzy, and the Beacons will dump and get 2 new players out there. Moritz staying out the forecheck. Controlled by Gualtieri. Gualtieri's pass to the far side, intended for cross. The Beacons get it back. Jetter's tempted pass is deflected into the College zone, and we'll get a face-off with 6:53 to go. It'll be Moritz in the face-off dot against DeRouge, and Moritz wins it back, but a couple College players get there first. It's DeRouge, shot a little bit wide of the net, but first player to it is Brady Breyer. Breyer's pass all the way around the boards, and Beauregard able to win it back, looking for Capione. Beauregard instead finds Moritz. Moritz around one player. It'll be a 1-on-1. Barry might get there first on a chance for a 2-on-1, but another nice break up here by Olivia Good. She's been back there a couple times on potential Beacons rushes. Behind the net, it's Moritz trying to keep control of the puck. Moritz, the freshman out of Guilford, Connecticut, attended Guilford High School. Controlled there by the very tall Julie Betty, junior out of Livonia, Michigan, 5'11". It's controlled by Fallon. Fallon from her own blue line to the College blue line. Her shot knocked down. Nice play by Good to get in front of it. Fallon still with it, tries the wraparound, and it's knocked to the far boards as Carlos fights off a player, trying to leave it for Embry. Knocked right back to Carlos, and she'll dump it behind the net where it's Good. Good trying to get it back over to Betty. Betty gives it up. Chance in front for Curry, and it's a kick saved by Chester. A lot of traffic. Capione will try his shot. Deflected wide off the tip from Carlos. Fallon playing around the boards for Curry. Another centering pass, this time for Embry. 3 players around her, and it'll be knocked out of there by Carlos. Back up top for Capione, looking for the shot, deflected wide. That one might have hit a College player as the Beacons. 3 good looks there, and Chester forced to make the first really good save of this first period for either goalie. UMass Boston's top line still out there as Carlos will be the first player to come off. College looking for an odd man rush as Brown easily gets out there in time. College will send 3 players to the bench as Brown rushes over there, just beating Lauren Bishop. Brown has the puck poked away, and now Capione trying to give it over for Fallon, and Myette dives on top of it. This is what I was talking about with the Beacons needing to be better in their own zone. It's 2 turnovers here in the first period where UMass Boston's given up the puck right in front of Rachel Myette. And Myette forced to make another stop as we're just under the 5-minute mark of a very clean, very quick first period. As the Beacons and Camels playing a midweek game before returning to conference play. College and the NESCAC, they get underway a little bit later than the rest of the country, 2 weeks later, in fact, in terms of playing games. So they'll still have a couple more non-conference games. The Beacons only have conference games left as Avison dumps this one in, and it'll go for an icing as College's number 14, Kate Cole, beats Kaylee Beauregard, the Beacons' number 14, to the puck. Beacons will keep that second line out there. Beauregard, Brown, Galucci, and Armstrong are the defensemen. And Avison, the final player out there, as it's won by College, and they'll send the puck down low. Didn't really have a shooting lane there. Galucci trying to get it over to Armstrong, and Armstrong will send it over. The Beacons with just 3 defensemen returning from last year's team, as they've relied heavily on Katie Jetter, the transfer, and Ariel Galucci, the true freshman, as it's dumped back in just to the left of Myette. And College will touch back on sides. Armstrong, a former Coloradan whose family has now moved to Canada. I'm not quite sure if that makes her Canadian yet, as it's controlled here by College's Stephanie Izzy. Izzy looking for the point. She finds Betty up top. Betty to the near side for Potter. Potter back down low, controlled by Jordan Cross. Behind the net, and Brown's the first player to it. 3:43 to go. What's been a pretty even first period. Maybe a little bit of an advantage to the Beacons, but if it is, it's infinitesimal. Controlled here by Cross. Cross trying to leave it back for Izzy. Izzy the shot, Myette the save, rebound loose, and it's poked out of there. A nice play by what looks like Galucci. Bianchini tries to keep the puck in. Instead, she touches back. It's Smith. Smith yet to score a point here, just her third game. Bovey the rebound, but couldn't get it on the first touch, and her second shot, not much on it. So another look there. This third line has done a nice job. It's the first time they've played together this season. Smith and Bianchini, who played so well together last year. Myette to save a secondary look. Fallon clears up the garbage right on the post. As that was a very good look for College. Another shot knocked down, this time by Kayla Smith. And it'll be brought out by Capione. Capione to dump. The Beacons will get 3 new forwards out there, and Capione will be the forechecker for the Beacons. Putting some pressure here on Olivia Good. Capione will head back to the point as Lizzie Avison puts the pressure on. Avison out there with Moritz, and here it's Katie Barry whose shot trickles through but wide. Avison, a little bit of physicality there, and it's sent behind the net. This will be Jill DeRouge to play it first. DeRouge sending it towards the point, right onto the stick of Megan Lembo, and it'll go down the length of the ice, but not quite hard enough for an icing as Fallon's forced to play it. Fallon over to Barry and right back to Fallon as the Beacons almost had another bad turnover in their own zone. Shot trickles towards the net off the stick of Paige Michelle. She had a goal and 2 assists last week against Salem State, team out of the Colonial Hockey Conference, which right now is sort of bottom of the barrel in Division III. A lot of new teams that are still trying to find their sea legs, here at the Division III college hockey level. Nice move here to go the length of the ice by Ellen Gualtieri, the team's leading scorer. Gualtieri being pressured by a pair of Beacons as Armstrong's in there with Carlos. Gualtieri finds her way to the ice, and Carlos comes away with it. Curry, a nice move to get around one player, still going with it. And she'll send a shot high and wide there of the glove of Catherine Chester. Embry trying to keep it in, but right onto the stick of Cross. Cross at center ice with Jeter on her. She'll set it in on Myette, and Myette will direct the rebound right over to Embry. Embry looking for Carlos. Those two players, both former Colorado Select players, although they came out at much different points. Carlos was a junior by the time that Embry got here. Backhand chance a little bit wide there off the stick of Michaela Igo. Another good look for College, who's definitely playing better here over the past 5 to 6 minutes. Still trying to get that first goal as the Beacons and College scoreless thus far with under a minute to play in the first. D-to-D pass there onto the stick of Betty. And it'll be sent cross ice. This one should be enough for an icing, and it will be, as Armstrong had it. Now, the back linesman, Chad Goyne, was calling for the icing. He was called off there. It's an interesting call, as it's behind the Beacons net where Armstrong will play it. Conn College gets 2 new skaters out there, and they'll send a third one back to the bench. Avison whiffs on the clear. Second effort will get it out, but not too far. Is coming forward was Olivia Good to put it right back in the Beacon zone. Beauregard couldn't quite get to that one. Avison tips it right back over in the vicinity of Beauregard, and it's dumped in with under 10 seconds to play. Conn College player tumbles to the ice there as the Beacons content to pin it into the boards, and that'll do it for the first period of play. UMass Boston 0, Connecticut College 0 here in a non-conference contest. And the Beacons would love to have that first goal, but their defensive effort has been much better as the Beacons and Camels will head to the first intermission even at 0-0. And now we'll take you through our intermission report. As first, we'll take a look at a Behind the Beacon that we produced back in December. A look at the new baseball field, Monin Park, and what it'll mean for a UMass Boston baseball program that hasn't had a home field to call their own in several decades.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously very excited and very grateful for getting a brand new facility built. It's definitely been a labor of love. We've got a lot of support from across campus to get the funding to build this. And, with the chancellor and the vice chancellor really pushing for this facility, it's finally come to fruition, and it's well worth the wait. It's going to be one of the nicest fields in all of New England. I think it's a field that we can be proud of, and it's going to be a great playing facility. Coming from, my first couple years just going onto any field that was open when teams were away, begging to use fields or playing out in Waltham at Yetton Field, and then kind of moving up to Campanelli, which was a great home facility for the last 4 to 5 years. It'll just be great to have that true home field advantage. That's something we've never been able to practice on the field that we played our games on, so you really miss out on that. And I think it's going to give the program a great sense of pride. I think player development-wise, having a turf field, will be able to get out on it earlier in the season, which gives you more reps and should hopefully lead to some very good results on the field.
Brockton was a great stadium to play at, first of all, but I think the home stadium is really going to help us, especially being so close to campus. A lot of guys can get a lot of extra swings. We don't have to wait for the gym to be open, and with the cage here, it'll be very nice, especially with 2 fields. We can have everyone split up. We can have pitchers go on one field, hitters go on another, and we'll be able to do a lot of things and get everyone ready. We check it every day. As soon as it started going up, everyone checks it, going to class, coming from class to see how it's been going. A lot of guys have been pumped with the practice field being almost done. A lot of guys have been wanting to get on it, and it's been a very big motivator for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was really a smart decision to go with the Fenway Park design. You're talking about the most historic field in all of baseball, and we have that on our campus now. We got a green monster, we got the triangle in center field, you got the bullpens in right. So it's going to be an outstanding place to play. I think, for spectators, the seating is top-notch. We got a great press box for our outstanding sports information staff. So I think it's going to be an outstanding facility. So I'm happy we went with that Fenway design. I think it's going to be, again, it's going to give us a home field advantage because you're going to have a quirky outfield, with the Pesky's pole and the triangle, the monster. So it should really give us an advantage. So I'm excited about that.
Energy. I think it's going to bring a lot of energy to the team. It's going to make Quanah guys do a lot more, hit a lot more, and be a lot better than we know we can be. Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome with the mini Fenway. I think it's going to attract a lot of guys to come in and want to play, and actually a lot of fans, because with the field being so far away, we didn't have a lot of fans at Brockton, but I think it's going to be awesome. Right on campus, there's going to be a lot of people coming over from apartments and watching the game,
itself. I mean, there's a lot of really positive change going on with new academic buildings, new baseball facilities. So it's a great time to be a Beacon.
The Beacons are scheduled for 18 home games this spring, with their season opener on March 5th at noon against LaSalle College. For more information about UMass Boston baseball, check them out on Instagram at Beacon Baseball and Twitter at Beacons Baseball. Thanks for watching. I'm Haley Dutton.
During that span as Capione from the circle loses the puck, and now she has to come back. Myette forced to make the save as Lily net, where it's good. Good, trying to get it back over to Betty. Betty gives it up. Chance in front for Curry, and it's a kick. Brown has the puck poked away, and now Capione trying to give it over for Fallon, and Myette dives on top of it. And Cheney tries to keep the puck in. Instead, she touches back. It's Smith. Smith yet to score a point here, just her third game. Bovey the rebound, but couldn't. And welcome back to our first period intermission show. UMass Boston and Connecticut College even at 1-1. We'll take a look right now at our first period, rather 0-0. I wish it was 1-1. Been some good chances for both teams, but neither team has found the back of the net. Take a look right now at our first period intermission stats brought to you by American Eagle Machinery Incorporated. Are you opening your own restaurant or looking to upgrade old equipment? American Eagle Food Machinery Incorporated is the value leader. Take a look right now at the shots. Both teams have been decent at getting offensive looks. Connecticut College with 12 shots compared to the Beacons' 9. 12 saves for Rachel Myette, 9 for Catherine Chester. Connecticut College with a slight edge, 9 of 15 compared to 6 of 15 for the Beacons in the faceoff dot. No penalties and sadly no goals in that first period. We'll move along right now and take a look around Beaconville as a couple of games coming up in the near future. Tomorrow night we've got a basketball doubleheader. Little East Conference action. The women's basketball team hosts Plymouth State at 5:30. Fresh up their first Little East Conference win of the year. They defeated Rhode Island College this past weekend. The men's basketball team looking to snap a 3-game losing streak here in 2016. And the men's hockey team, ranked 5th/8th in the country, takes on the Babson College Beavers, ranked 7th/9th, as the Beacons look to knock off their arch rivals and extend their lead even further in the New England Hockey Conference. As the Beacons, fresh off a weekend sweep of St. Anselm College and New England College, sit 3 points ahead of the Beavers with 10 games remaining in conference play. We'll take a look at the last time these two teams met in regular season play. It was the Beacons earning a thrilling overtime victory last January.
Come on, you can do it. Come on, man. Come on, baby. Come on. Guess who's back, dirty. STL dirty. I'm like Magic to Kareem, man. You tell me I ain't worthy. I ain't speaking about a jersey, I'm speaking about income. Get your head out, Elizabeth. Here come the big one. I put more money in the community than you got in your budget. I walk my feet with your advance to the toilet, then flush it. My last stance be a stance of a General Custard. I hot dog cause I can. I got the cheese and mustard. I got the stats of a Hall of Fame in just 2 records. That's why I'm back up at the Super Bowl with Julius Peppers. I got that can't stop, won't stop in my veins. That's why they can't stop, won't stop screaming the name. Nelly, Nelly. Go tell a friend to tell a friend. I'ma keep the same grin whether I lose or win. Up or down 10, I'ma fight to the end. Let's go. Ain't no way they can stop me now, Daddy, cause I'm on my way. I can feel my ring coming.
welcome back to the Beacons Ice Arena. We'll take a look right now around the rest of the New England Hockey Conference. One other game going on, or just actually ended. Trinity College, a team the Beacons lost to last week, 3-1. Taking on Nichols College, a team out of the New England Hockey Conference. It wasn't pretty. Trinity College downing Nichols 9-0. I mean, there's not many sports where 9-0 is a regular score. Maybe baseball or lacrosse. It's an ugly score in any sport. And we'll see how Nichols responds. The Beacons, unfortunately, don't get a crack at the Bison this weekend, although they are already 1-0 against Nichols this year. Looking around the rest of the conference, a lot of games at 7 and 7:30. The University of Southern made at Bowdoin. That's another NEHC NESCAC matchup, as is the University of New England at Colby, Salve Regina at Williams. You're sensing a trend here. And the one game that's not a New England Hockey Conference game versus a New England Small College Athletic Conference game, Becker College at Franklin Pierce University. We'll take a brief break right now, send you to commercial, then we'll be back with the keys to the second period as the Beacons and Camels tied at 0-0 after one.
Two pitch swung on and missed.
Kyle Strowski from Agawam, Massachusetts. I'm a senior here at UMass Boston. I'm a marketing major. Probably have to say my favorite moment was my no-hitter my freshman year. Being a freshman, especially just making a statement right away. Seeing the reactions on the seniors' faces. It was something that was a lot of fun to be a part of. If you want to play and you want to compete for championship every year, definitely UMass Boston is a good place to come look at.
And now, this one's launched right center field. That's going to win the game for the Beacons. It is down.
LEC is probably best division in college D3 baseball in the country. Play against the top competition every year. I think we have a top 10 schedule in the country this year. So we're young, but we also mix in with a good group of junior college transfers. Being on the baseball team here at UMass is a good experience, great experience. Only about 2% of people can play college baseball, and one that I'll take for me for the rest of my life.
Kyle Fields fires the first great scoop from Jason Cholin.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there's a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
It's a pair of All-Americans there in that commercial. Julia Murphy of the volleyball team. Olivia Murphy trying to make some history this week as she sits just 16 rebounds shy of 1,000 for her career. Already well over 1,300 points. She would become the third Beacon in program history to reach the 1,000 club. Just about 54 seconds to go before the start of the second period. We've got a couple of keys for this one. Beacon still have to be cleaner. The best chances for Connecticut College have come off of UMass Boston turnovers in the neutral zone, but more specifically in their own end. A little bit more traffic in front of the very hot Catherine Chester. She's been playing so well. 71 saves on 73 shots over the weekend. Give her 9 more. That's 80 out of 82. Phenomenal numbers for the New England Small College Athletic Conference Player of the Week. Outside of that, the Beacons just need to stay clean. They did a good job in the first period. No trips to the sin bin. Need to keep doing that here in the second. Just about to start the second period, and we'll have it for you right here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And welcome back for the second period. My name's Seth Orensky. The Beacons will send out that top line, as will Connecticut College. So no changes. The Beacons going with Carlos, Curry, Embry, Capione, and Fallon. And it'll be the same group for Connecticut College as well. Conley, Igo, Ankteal, Paige Michelle, and Kate Cole as the Beacons win the faceoff. It's Carlos back to Capion, captain to captain. Curry leaving it off for Carlos, who gets tripped up at her own blue line. Right back to the ice. Carlos goes, and it's flipped into the Beacons' end. Capion, the first player to it, circles and puts it on the stick of Carlos, and the Beacons will try it again. This time onto the stick of Curry. Curry going one-on-one with Michelle, gets the shot off, and Chester will shield that one behind her and out of danger, at least for the moment. Carlos, one-on-one behind the net there, working against Conley. Back out to the point, it's Capion. Capion will leave it for Fallon. Fallon looking for the shot, a little bit wide of the net, and it deadens right off the boards behind of Chester as it's collected here by Paige Michelle. Michelle does a nice job to break out of the zone, right onto the stick of Conley, and Conley will fire it in on Myette as 50 seconds in, Con College will get a change. This period is the period of the short change, and Con College gets 5 new skaters out there trying to pressure the Beacons, and we're going to get our first penalty there as it's Marin Brown pushing a Con College player to the ground, and we'll see if it's a check or an elbow. It's going to be a cross check here with 18:55 to play, and the Beacons will go on the PK for the first time. So we'll get a face-off coming here in the Beacon zone. Avison, Beauregard, Armstrong, and Jetter there as the Beacons win the face-off. Jetter struggled to find it for a second and unable to clear. Picked up here by Julie Beatty. Beatty gets it right back. Sending it over to the far side for Gualtieri. Gualtieri's shot gets knocked down by Armstrong. Armstrong trying to hold off the Con College player, unable to get it out. As a Beacon loses stick, that's Armstrong, so the Beacon's playing 5-on-3 momentarily. Get a new player out there. It's Capion, so one defenseman for another. Back out to the point, controlled by Good. Good, her shot, knocked down, and it's put back in on the rebound by Gualtieri. Elena Gualtieri, the freshman from Rome, New York, scores off the hard shot from Olivia Good, and it makes it 1-0 here. Just a minute and 39 in. That was 34 seconds into the power play. The Beacons had 2 chances to clear, unable to do so, as it's Gualtieri, her 5th goal of the season, with Good picking up the assist. That's assist number 4. And just like that, Brown to the penalty box for cross-checking a minute and 5 in, and Con College takes advantage of the Beacons' miscue, as the Beacons, who had been giving up goals on the penalty kill at a 28% clip over the past 7 games, allow yet another one. That's 7 power play goals against in their past 8 games. The Beacons with just 1 goal in that span. There's a good look right in front. Myette got her stick on it as Caitlin Paiva was waiting for a potential deflection. And the Beacons find themselves behind, not what they wanted to do. Puck is loose, controlled by Capion. Capion onto the stick of Bovey. This line was very good for UMass Boston in the first period. That third line of Bovey, Bianchini, and Smith, but now the Beacons will send the first line right back out there as Curry joins the fray alongside Embry and Carlos. Embry comes away with it, looking for the centering pass for Curry. Curry amongst 3 blue shirts, unable to come away with it as the puck loose around the circle. Capion pitches in onto the stick of Carlos. Carlos a shot, and it's knocked away with the blocker there by Chester. Back up top for Capion. Capion swerves into the circle, her shot, and it's gloved down by Chester. Nice play there from the junior goalie out of Mendham, New Jersey. Offensive zone face-off Cummings. The Beacons will keep that top line out there, and it'll be Conley out there for Con College as the Camels send their first line out. Embry, her shot gets knocked down. Carlos can't find it. It was right in her skates, and it's almost brought out. A nice job to keep it in. Armstrong over to Embry. The Beacons getting their players back out. Armstrong nearly darted and found that puck in front of the net, but couldn't quite reach out and get it. Con College trying to get out of the zone. The Beacons have done a nice job after giving up the first one in this one, but it's Con College here with it. Conley, and kicked away by Myette. Myette really couldn't have done much more with that goal she gave up. Stopped the initial shot from the point. There was a Con College player right there to poke it away. Wasn't even a big, fat, juicy rebound, just a small one, and the Camels converted either way. It's Jetter with it. Jetter darting through her own circle, Right onto the stick of Beauregard. Beauregard's a player who showed great flashes in the first semester. She hasn't got her scoring touch quite in line here in second semester. She's pestering Beatty there. The Beacons try to keep it in. Bouncing puck. Capion looking to get it over to Beauregard, who slips underneath of Girouge there, and it's back into the Beacon zone. Fallon chips it back up. This one, if it goes the length of the ice, is long enough for an icing, and it will be. So 4 minutes and 3 seconds in, 4 minutes and 3 seconds in, the Beacons find themselves trailing on the goal from Elena Golateri, her 5th of the season. She adds to her team-leading total now with 5 goals and 6 assists. Brown loses the faceoff as Con College controls here. Shot from the point is knocked down off of Kaylee Beauregard, and it's dumped right back in. First player to it should be Fallon for UMass Boston. Fallon looking for Beauregard, couldn't get a touch, and now there's a shot block there from Marin Brown. Behind the net, it's Fallon. Fallon working against the Con College player. And behind the net now, it's Fallon still working there against Jordan Cross. A good shift for Cross, the freshman out of Saugus. To the far side, it's Avison. Avison looking to work her way back to the near side. Avison stripped to the puck right at the blue line, and the Beacons will be called for offsides. Smith in the faceoff dot here against Caitlin Paiva. Paiva purposely wins it forward, but the Beacons able to slow a potential rush there for Connecticut College. Puck flipped up towards center ice. Armstrong, the only player back for the Beacons, able to find Bianchini. Bianchini gets help from Smith, and the Beacons come away with it. She has the puck poked off her stick over to Armstrong, and right onto the stick of Bovey, who will knock it into the zone. Controlled there by Caitlin Paiva. Paiva along the boards. Picked up by Gallucci. Right back over to Bianchini. Bianchini will send the shot floating wide back to the near side. She thought about giving it over to Armstrong. Instead took the shot. It was a good look, just not on target. Bianchini centering pass. Bovey the swipe. Couldn't quite knock it down. The softball player going with the baseball shot and sent it into the side of the netting rather than finding it home. 14:29 to go in the period. The Beacons trailing by a goal, scored just a minute and 32 seconds in after a penalty, a minute and 5. As it was Elena Golateri off the initial shot from the point from Olivia Good. Beacons win the faceoff there. It was Edie Moritz getting it back to Kaylee Beauregard. As Beauregard out there with 2 members of the 4th line in Moritz and Katie Barry. Beacons have used their 4th line sparingly all season long. For the most part, they didn't even have a full 4th line. And they'll finally have it when Jane Morissette, the team's very talented sophomore center, gets back from an illness. Missed both games of the Codfish Bowl, and the Beacons have desperately missed her. Beauregard shields off a player, comes away with the puck behind the net, needs some help, finds Fallon, who was pushing forward, but Fallon's shot is knocked down, a kick save, and the rebound was cleared out of the zone. Fallon comes back to get the loose puck, being pressured there by Michaela Igo. Fallon still with it into the zone, has it tapped away. A nice play by the assistant captain there, Julie Beatty. Beatty and Kate Cole, the 2 assistant captains. Jill DeRouge, the lone captain for this Connecticut College team. The Beacons with just 2 captains, Alexa Capione and Alexandra Carlis. Beatty has the puck stripped away, but gets it right back onto the stick of Michaela Igo. Stepping forward was Fallon, held it for just a second, and now it's cleared out. The pass attempt to find Stephanie Izzy, and now the Beacons will get it back with Capione. Capione looking to work her way around DeRouge, and it's given up. Embry sends a shot in, and it's gloved there by Chester. A couple of Beacons right on the doorstep. 12:57 to go in this second period. The Beacons trailing 1-0. Just 1 penalty in the game. It came at the start of this period against the Beacons, and it led to the only goal. As Con College's very good power play continues to go strong. Good shot from Curry, puck's loose, and the referees blow the whistle. And this happens so often at all levels of hockey, and it's frustrating if you have an angle up here in the broadcaster's booth where you can clearly see the puck. Chester was covering up the puck, but she definitely didn't control it. It was still loose, and the referees gave her the benefit of the whistle on that one. And that's partially just a player safety thing, but it's difficult for the Beacons, who had two players there poking it, trying to poke it home to find the equalizer. Back in the Beacons' end, it's Jetter trying to get it out of the zone. Flip back towards the Beacons' net where it's Armstrong controlling. Armstrong over to Jetter. Jetter off the boards but not out as Paige Michelle was waiting. Sends a shot in, and Armstrong will clear up the rebound in this instance. Controlled by Paiva. Paiva in there with Armstrong. Brown will try to send it to the near side. First player to it is Beauregard. Beauregard trying to dig it out, being pressured there by Brady Breer. Conn College comes away with it as Beauregard, a little bit of a hip check there into Anna Bleck. The Beacons still can't get it out. Conn College with reinforcements as it's picked up by Brady Breyer. And now it's sent all the way to the far side, controlled by Lembo. Megan Lembo and Breyer going back and forth. Breyer back out to the point. She finds Julie Betty. Beacons finally a chance to get it out, and Avison does. Now let's see what the Beacons can do with it. Avison diving to try to keep it away from Kate Cole, unable to do so, but the Beacons at least have brought it into the Conn College zone where they can get their line change here. But Conn College gets it right out, coming to the near side. It's Capione weighing her options over to Fallon. Beacon wipes out on the near side. That was Bianchini, and Fallon gives it up in a bad spot. Fallon, though, the shot block knocks it back towards the point where it's picked up by Beatty. Beatty wielding her way all the way behind the net, controlled by Bovey. Bovey had it for a moment, gets some help from Smith, and now it's picked up by Fallon with 11 minutes and change to go here in period number 2. The Beacons trailing by a goal in this, the 12th all-time matchup between these two teams. The Beacons and Camels tied 5-5-1. UMass Boston 4-1-1 all-time here at home, trying to avoid a second loss. Good chance here in front. Fallon another shot block as Michaela Igo had a player to her left. She elected to take the shot herself, and it was knocked down. Fallon up ahead for Bovey. Bovey thought that Bianchini was going to dart to the near side. Instead, she comes off, and Conn College gets it back. Bovey breaks up the pass. Now she's behind the play, and it's flipped out of the zone as Embry gave a Conn College player a little bit of a push, and the faceoff will come right at the center dot with 10:27 to play here in period number 2. Top line out there for the Beacons. It'll be Izzy in the faceoff dot against Carlos, and Carlos wins it back cleanly to Armstrong. Armstrong gives it up in a bad spot. It's Gualtieri looking for a second. Gualtieri couldn't quite get the shot off. A nice play by Ariel Galucci, the lone player with a chance to slow Gualtieri down, and she got just enough on the back check to break up that great look for the very talented Elena Gualtieri, already with one. Carlos looking to go the other way, onto the stick of Embry. Embry plays it back to the near side. She's getting shielded into the boards. She works there against Stephanie Izzy. Izzy takes a bit of a bump from Jenny Curry's. Those two players hand battle, and it's controlled here by Jordan Cross. Cross with two Beacons defenders back, make it 3 players as Embry does a nice job on the back check. Cross gives it up to Armstrong. Armstrong trying to find Curry rather. Curry right back to Armstrong. Armstrong, a bit of forecheck pressure on her in the form of Izzy. Tries to get it back for Curry. The Beacons not doing a good job of getting it out of their own zone here in the second period. Did a much better job in the first. Embry tries to dart back to the middle of the zone and has it poked away, and the Beacons still have it in their own end. Seems to be a reoccurring theme the past couple games. Now, they've played some great competition. Amherst, Trinity, and Conn College, all good teams out of the NESCAC, but the Beacons' ability to get it out of their own zone has been a huge issue for UMass Boston. Shot, and that one tickled the twine, but on the outside. For a second there, I thought it went home, as that was Caitlin Paiva with a very good look from distance. Brown will take it through the center of the ice, able to beat one player, but was losing the puck as she sent her pass ahead for Beauregard, and now the Beacons will tussle for it just outside the Camels' blue line. Taken away there by Kate Cole. Cole flipping in behind the Beacons' net. Chasing it down is Ariel Galucci, the New Jersey product. Back behind the net for Armstrong. Armstrong and Galucci have been playing the majority of their shifts together. We also see Fallon and Capione play together. Jetter intertwined in that mix. Another good look there for Connecticut College, goes just wide. As it's Beauregard flipping it out, looking for Brown. Brown with Avison providing a pick. Brown all the way to the net, tries to get in, shot, and it's kicked away by Chester. What a good look there from Marin Brown, going from left to right, just unable to beat Chester, who is red hot, making 71 saves on 73 shots over the weekend, including a shutout on Saturday in a 2-0 win on Trinity. She's working on her potential second consecutive shutout, as she's made some really good saves today for the Camels. Connecticut College controls just outside the Beacons blue line. It's Fallon knocking down a potential shot, gets it right back from Capion. Fallon looking for the stretch pass, down will go the length of the ice. Chasing after this one is Curry, and that's a bad call. Curry clearly had a step on a Connecticut College player, and the referee blew the whistle, and I think they're going to have a discussion. The referee and linesman are there. This one looks like it's going to go the length of the ice, but Curry clearly had the full shoulder ahead of the Connecticut College player and was the faster of the two players at that point. And that one, and now they're bringing it out to center ice and admit the mistake. But with Curry having so much speed, the puck coming out to her in a good spot, Curry could have had a chance in on goal there. And I understand the player safety aspect of the rule, but that's a no-no. Curry has been red hot. She's one of the Beacons' top 2 goal scorers with their 5 goals, and that broke up a goal-scoring opportunity. It was a close play, but Curry clearly was ahead at the point the whistle was blown and was the faster of the two players, as we see right here. And now we're going to get a penalty coming against Connecticut College for interference. Looks like it was Kate Cole there trying to slow down Curry, who they just showed the speed of. And now we'll see Cole head to the penalty box. And honestly, that might have been a bit of a makeup call. It's not going to be Cole, it's actually Izzy. 16 rather than 14. So the Beacons will get to go on the man advantage for the first time, as Izzy will be called for interference. And the Beacons will send out Avison, Beauregard, and Brown, along with Capion and Fallon. UMass Boston with just 1 power play goal over their last 7. Hard shot from Capion, and the second look from Beauregard, as Capion's initial look didn't get all the way through. Brown stretches out, trying to get a shot off. She's tied up, and it's cleared. A great diving effort there by Caitlin Paiva. The Beacons 1 for 17 over their last 7 games, looking to add a power play goal. Over the weekend, Conn College did give up 2 power play goals in 12 chances against Trinity. Fallon the shot, rebound loose, and Chester has enough time to cover up with 1:24 left on this power play for the Beacons. Big opportunity for UMass Boston with 6:41 to go in the period. Beacons trying to get back into this one after giving up the power play goal early on in the period. Beacons will send out the first line now. Curry, Carless, and Embry, along with Armstrong and Jetter. Armstrong playing with the puck at the blue line, and now it's a shorthanded chance for Gualtieri. Coming back there is Jetter. A nice job as the Beacons broke up a shorthanded bid for the Camels. Jetter will leave it for Armstrong. And now ahead for Embry. Embry up ahead for Carless. Carless one-on-one at the blue line, beats a player. Curry's wide open on the backside, and it's broken up there. A nice play by Paige Michelle. Controlled by Embry. Embry leaves it off for Carless, and the Beacons will set up their power play with 50 seconds left. Player goes down in front. That was Embry for the Beacons, trying to provide a shield in front of Chester. Curry trying to leave it for Carless, couldn't find it, and it's a chance to clear here for Gualtieri, who will. And the Beacons will have to go back, as Conn College will get three new players out there. The only player staying on is Kate Cole. Curry can't quite control the pass. Now she'll send it wide over for Avison. Avison has a step on a defender. Avison sends the shot in wide. Coming over to get it is Brown, as the Beacons' second power play unit is back out there. Kept in by Armstrong with 10 seconds to go. Armstrong over to Capion. Capion has a big shot. Armstrong has it with 6. Armstrong still playing with the puck up top. Over to Avison in the near circle. Avison shot knocked down. She'll get it back, but we're back to even strength. Avison gives it up, and she trips up a Conn College player. The Conn College bench screaming for the penalty. They won't get it. 5:07 to go. Both teams have had a power play chance. The Beacons 0 for 1. Conn College 1 for 1, and that's the difference in this one. Under 5 minutes to go in the period as it's controlled by DeRouge. DeRouge's attempted pass is knocked away by Capion. Picked up there by Brady Breer. Now it's Good. Good already with 1 assist. Hard shot, rebound, almost fell to DeRouge, but she was going with a little bit too much pace to knock it down and get a shot up. Back to Breyer. And controlled by Capion. Capion out to the point. Picked up by Good. Good loses it, but it's picked right back up by DeRouge. Seen this happen more and more here in period number 2. The Beacons being pinned into their own zone for long stretches. Beauregard nearly taps it out, and now Armstrong will send it to the near side. Only player there is Bianchini. Bianchini leaves it off for Brown. Brown with a lot of speed, slows up, tries to get a shot off, soft shot, and the attempted chance there for Beauregard is covered up as Chester got there just in time. 4:06 to go in the second period. The Beacons have scored just 1 goal in their past 6 periods, looking to get back into the goal-scoring column. Connecticut College looking for their 5th consecutive scoreless period as they had a shutout on Saturday against Trinity. Looking to even up their record for the first time all season as they started 1-5-1. They've won 3 in a row since. All 3 wins coming last week, a win over Salem State, a blowout win, and back-to-back wins against Trinity. As Myette forced to make the save this time, as that was number 5, Ashley Anktill. Face-off coming to the right of Myette. It'll be Smith and Conley. Won by Conley, but all the way out to the neutral zone as it's brought back in by Betty. Betty, hard shot, well wide. That was a big blast, but nowhere near Rachel Myette. As Fallon has it behind her own goal line. Not enough on that pass. Centering feed, shot Myette, a huge save as she robs Stephanie Izzy. As Fallon just didn't get anywhere near enough on that pass behind the net, looking for Capion. And the Beacons fortunate that Rachel Myette has been playing as well as she has. Otherwise, this could be a multiple goal deficit. Carlos wins the face-off against Izzy. Winning it back there. And another potential bad turnover as Jetter gave it up right in front of her crease, and the Beacons able to clear it away. Embry up ahead for Curry. Curry is the player who drew that penalty against Conn College. And now Carlos goes down right in the face-off dot. Armstrong kicks that one away, using every part of her equipment to make sure that Conn College didn't get into the zone. Chance here. Myette makes the initial save, and then she'll dive on top of it off the good look from Kate Cole. .302 to go in the second period. UMass Boston trying to find that first goal. Conn College wins the faceoff just out of the reach of Betty there, though, and the Beacons will have a chance to pin Conn College back in their own zone. Good forecheck pressure from Beauregard, kept in by Fallon. Fallon sends a shot in, tipped just wide by Beauregard, who missed it by a matter of inches. That shot had so much pace on it, I'm not sure if Chester would have been able to make the save. Fallon, the lone player, back for the Beacons with 2 Conn College players right in front of her. Fallon flips it out towards the blue line, but not out. Kept in there by Olivia Good. It's Capion now with it, shipping it forward for Beauregard, who's been a lot more active in this one today for the Beacons. Brown taking it in herself as Avison went to the bench. Brown draws the penalty. Beauregard comes up with a loose puck as Myette heads off. The Beacons will look for a little bit of extended time as Beauregard has it tapped away. Myette may be off for a matter of a half second to a full second. And the Beacons will go back on the power play. Another nice move by Marin Brown, who's really playing her best hockey here at the beginning of 2016. The freshman, as a freshman, she didn't see that much playing time. Has played in every game this season, has really picked up her play, as it'll be Olivia Good. Not sure if the call is for hooking or holding. As Carlos wins it back to Embry, and the Beacons will have their second chance. Jetter winds up, totally misses, but able to keep it in. She was looking for the big blast. She has scored this season. Came in a road conference win at Southern Maine. Back up top for Armstrong. Armstrong over to Embry as Carlos was shielding Chester, let the puck go through. As it is a hooking call against Olivia Good, who has the assist on the lone goal in this one. Up top for Armstrong, thought about the shot, as Con College provides a lot of pressure at the point. Hard shot from Armstrong, gets all the way through, and another save from Catherine Chester, who made 9 in the first period and has easily doubled that here in period number 2. Minute and 39 to go in the period, 1:28 to go on the man advantage. The Beacons with their second power play opportunity, just 1 for 18 over their last 7+ games. Shot from Capione comes over to the near side, and now Fallon pitches forward, a chance for a 2-on-1. Up ahead, it's Izzy. Izzy waiting for the trailer, and it's just out of the reach there of Caitlin Paiva, who's been very good on the penalty kill. Fallon didn't want to give it up to Capione, but did. Great forechecking pressure here from Paiva as the Beacons once again pinned in their own zone, this time on the power play. And they'll look to set up. Fallon over to Capione. Now the Beacons out of their own zone with one trailer for Con College. Capione circling behind the net is met by a Con College player, able to get all the way to the far side, and the Beacons set up to Fallon. Fallon thinks about the shot, and it's deflected high into the netting. A nice job there by Stephanie Izzy to get in the way of that look from Fallon. 48.9 seconds to go in the period, 37 seconds left on the man advantage. UMass Boston on this season, 14.3%, 5 of 35, but they started out decently well, 4 of 18, just 1 of 17 since going into this game, and already 0 for 1 on the man advantage. Carlos with it behind the net, 29 seconds to go. Centering pass is knocked down there as the Beacons will look to set up on the near side. Embry, Carlos, Curry, Armstrong, and Jetter for the Beacons. Curry's shot into the glove of Chester and easily makes that save. In fact, I think she was surprised by how easy the save was. Curry's been one of the Beacons' top goal scorers. Another offensive zone faceoff coming as Con College will send 2 new skaters out there. Carlos in the faceoff dot against Paiva. Another win for Carlos. She's been very good. She was our player to watch today. Armstrong winds up, doesn't even get through the first defender. And the Beacons slow it down a little bit with Jetter getting in front of an odd man rush. Now Myette will play it back to Armstrong. 10 seconds to go in the period. The Beacons 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Con College 1 for 1. Chance for one last rush. It's Curry with 4 seconds. Chester the save. She'll drop it and send it back towards the boards as that'll take us through 2 periods. Con College 1, UMass Boston 0. Elena Gualtieri, the difference in this one, picks up the rebound in front of Rachel Myette and pokes it home off the shot from Olivia Good as the Beacons trail 1-0 after 2. Well, the other difference has been Catherine Chester. She's been phenomenal. Rachel Myette has been great, but not perfect. Take a look right now at our second period intermission show, as we'll start you with a look at the Beacons' last home game. It's a tough 3-1 loss to Trinity College, as the Beacons, kind of like this game, couldn't get their offense going into gear after a 3-1 win versus SUNY Canton the day before.
Beacons on the track. Beacons on the track.
My name is Tyler Hart.
Beacons on the track.
Being on the track and field team here is great decisions I've made besides coming to UMass Boston. When you train together in that sort of intensity, you build a sort of a bond with people who are training with you. You know, it's like a higher level of friendship. It's like teammates, it's just a different level. My freshman year, I got a Rookie Athlete of the Year. Outdoor for my sophomore year, I was the first time I went to nationals. When I jump, it's a little difficult considering I have a hereditary disorder known as amblyopia.
There we go.
It's pretty much just a partial blindness in the left eye. The best way to describe it is if you have decent prescriptions for contact lenses, you take one of the lenses out, and then you put your hand over the eye with that lens. That's my vision. I rely more on my steps as opposed to my visual perception of how far away the bar is. And since I can't see out of my left eye, I have to sit on the far left-hand side of the class. Hopefully coach for a few years, and coach some high school kids, maybe even coach on a college level as like an assistant coach, and go to PA school, then do a 5-year program and try to get my loans paid back, and then go from there.
My name is Allie Greenberg. I'm an ice hockey player here. I'm a junior majoring in human services, and I'm part of the Key for Hope Foundation. We recycle the keys and stock food pantries with the money. I wanted to bring this foundation to the athletic department, and I believe we can end hunger starting at UMass Boston. I got started with the Key for Hope Foundation due to my father. He's the one who founded this program.
I said, what can I do with a classroom environment giving back? And everybody's got an old key, and keys are made of brass, and brass is a recyclable commodity. And thinking about how many children are in a school system and how far we can go with taking this to do something right for humanity, I started a foundation called Key for Hope, feeding others with the collecting of keys. In 2.5 years, we collected over 500,000 keys. And I'm excited about this whole opportunity because you know what? One key may not seem like much to most people, but when you collect the masses of keys that we've collected, it shows that there is an ability for people to get together and create what I'm considering our hunger fighting opportunity.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the...
And welcome back to the Beacons Ice Arena as we bring you the second period stats brought to you by Puritan Pizza, located at 735 Morrissey Boulevard, just minutes away from campus. Puritan Pizza is home of the best pizza in town. Take a look right here at the statistics as we'll bring you the second period stats. In just a moment. Lone goal in that second period coming from Elena Gualtieri from Olivia Good, the 5th goal of the season for Gualtieri. 4th assist from Olivia Good, coming 1:40. And there's the stats from the period. UMass Boston actually outshot Connecticut College 17-12, is having some technical difficulties, but no big problem. Beacons now out shooting Connecticut College 26-24 for the game. That's 26 saves from Catherine Chester. Last year, the Beacons fell 7-0 to Connecticut College. It was a 25 save shutout for Kelsey Freilich. Well, Chester's been a lot more active, but she's still got one period to go. In the face-off dots, the Beacons hold a 19-16 edge thanks to a 10 of 12 mark from Alexander Carlos. 3 penalties in the period. Marin Brown went off for cross-checking at 1:03. That's just 37 seconds later, it was Gualtieri scoring. Stephanie Izzy went off for interference at 12:43. Olivia Good for hooking at 17:48. Connecticut College 1 for 1 on one shot. The Beacons 0 for 2 on 5 looks. Take a look right now at the highlights from that second period of play. And it all starts with the goal from Elena Gualtieri. So you see Gualtieri able to get the rebound right in front. And from that point on, it was really UMass Boston having the better end of things. As here it's Alexander Carlos, the good look. Rebound coming out to the near side. Now it's a big shot block from Kaylee Beauregard to send the puck flying. And here's the centering feed for Fallon, whose shot gets knocked down, and the rebound comes right to the stick of a Connecticut College player. off the faceoff win from Carlos, a big shot from Curry, and it's covered up. And then another shot block from Fallon. She's had a few of those today. Here's another save, this time off of Marin Brown. See, a great job going right to left, but Catherine Chester able to make the save. And then on the first power play, it's knocked down, and on the rebound, it goes just a little bit wide out the stick of Beauregard. And another breakup, this time coming from Capion off the loose puck. It's a big save from Rachel Myette. So those are the saves and highlights from the second period. We'll move along right now and look at the NEHC scoreboard. Just one game. We've already got a final from that one. Got a couple of other games still to come on the evening. Trinity College knocking off Nichols College 9-0. The Beacons are trying to make it a 1-1 day thus far for the New England Hockey Conference against the NESCAC, as Trinity added the NESCAC, Nichols College added the NEHC. A couple more games between those two conferences: the University of Southern Maine at Bowdoin, the University of New England at Colby, Salve Regina at Williams, and then the final game of the day, Becker College at Franklin Pierce. No NESCACs involved in that one. Take a look around Beaconville. 3 games coming up in the next couple of days here at home. The men's and women's basketball teams will continue Little East Conference play tomorrow night, beginning at 5:30 with the women's basketball game, the men's basketball game at 7:30. And then on Friday, a huge game nationally. The Beacons ranked 5th/7th, trying to increase their lead in the NEHC, as the Beacons will host Babson College, ranked 7th/9th at 7 p.m. We'll take a look right now at the men's basketball highlights. They're in the middle of a 3-game losing streak. They played pretty well last Tuesday night in a 13-point loss to number 22 Tufts, who moved up to number 18 in yesterday's D3Hoops.com poll. One of the hidden gems in Boston, Cranberry Cafe, is an award-winning restaurant located just minutes away in South Boston. Open 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Come in and try our delicious breakfast options, or stay at home and we'll deliver at all low prices. Make sure to try our iced coffee, which our customers claim can make your taste buds come alive with joy. That's a direct quote off of Yelp. So someone actually said that, folks. We're not making this up. We'll continue along in our intermission show and look ahead right now. The Beacons with conference games to close out the season, and we'll start with the first three. As UMass Boston will travel on Friday before returning home on Saturday. They travel to New England College, a team they put up 12 goals against last year here at home, the most goals in program history, and a 12-1 win. The Beacons earned a 2-0 victory against New England College back on November 6th earlier on in this season. Then they host St. Michael's College for the first and only game against them, and travel to Salve Regina University on January 22nd at 7 p.m. in one of two games against Salve here in second semester. January 22nd, of course, the birthday of former UMass Boston women's hockey player Alyssa Sullivan, and also yours truly. So that's the only reason I know that Alyssa Sullivan, who graduated last year, was also born on that date. We'll take one last commercial break, and then we'll bring you the third period as the Beacons look for a comeback here on the Beacons Broadcast Network.
UMass Boston was my first choice because when I came to the campus, I saw that there was a lot of diversity. There's a lot of people. Here there is a lot of international students, so it's really cool to meet people from different countries, different parts of the world. I'm Julia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
I'm Olivia Murphy. I'm from Canton, Massachusetts.
We're sisters.
We're sisters.
I play volleyball and she plays basketball. Here they have a freshman success community. So each major has their own community that you can join as a freshman, and you take classes with them, you do study groups with them. So it was really helpful getting to know people in your major right away.
So in health exercise sciences, we have an internship at the end, so it's so much better to have like an advisor helping you out, like telling you which classes to choose.
Welcome back to the Beacons Ice Arena. 1-0 through two periods, 44 seconds to go before the start of the third. The Beacons looking for a comeback. This season they are 0-4 when trailing after two. They'll look to do something about that right here as the Beacons 0 for 2 on the man advantage, 1 for their last 19. Looks like UMass Boston might have to do it with special teams or a potential extra attacker goal. They scored with the extra man out there on last Tuesday in a 3-1 loss against Connecticut College. The defense has been better today. Rachel Myette has played extremely well, but the Beacons still find themselves trailing as Myette's made 23 saves, at least 11 in both periods, but Catherine Chester phenomenal in that second period, 17 of 17. Two teams back out there, top line for both teams. We're ready to go, and a rare face-off loss there for Alexander Carlis as the Beacons will go from left to right on your computer screens. Sent behind the Beacons net there. Carlis to Capione. Capione swerving back towards the center of the ice where she puts it onto the stick of Embry, who's dispossessed of the puck. Embry has it picked up by Lily Conley. Conley skating into the Beacons zone, and Rachel Myette able to make the save, and then her momentum took her backwards very quickly, but able to hold on and stop herself before she would have carried the puck in. And we'll get an offensive zone face-off for Conn College, who will send a new 5 out there. The Beacons will as well, as it'll be Brown in there against Izzy. Izzy, the junior forward out of West Cornwall, Connecticut. Attended the Kent School, a very good prep school down in the Nutmeg State. As it's Armstrong over to Avison. Avison all the way across for Beauregard. Good sign for the Beacons as Beauregard, the honey-baked product out of Michigan, has played very well today. Have been pretty quiet the Beacons' first two games here in 2016, as Beauregard is one of the Beacons' top talents, but with no Jane Morissette and Beauregard struggling, Beacons only really got production from their first line during the Codfish Bowl tournament. Scored 3 goals in the first period and change against SUNY Canton, and then went scoreless until the final 19 seconds against Trinity College in a 3-1 loss. Armstrong behind her own goal, setting to the near side, looking for Bianchini. Bianchini couldn't quite get there, kept in for a moment, then Smith able to knock it out. Conn College has to go back and touch up, and it's controlled by Jetter behind her own net. 90 seconds into this third period, the Beacons trailing by a goal after Conn College scored in the opening 2 minutes of the second period. Coming over to get this one is Lauren Bishop. Bishop dispossessed, and it's picked up by Kayla Smith. Kayla Smith was a nice Christmas present for first-year interim coach Lindsey Berman. Smith elected not to play first semester, came back, said I'd like to play, and after a couple of practices, rejoined the team. Former Salve Regina University player, was the team's leading scorer a year ago. Embry finds the puck amongst traffic, tries to dart back towards the front of the net, and that time it was perfectly read by Paige Michelle, the D3Hockey.com Team of the Week honoree, as of about noon today. Controlled by Capion, not much forecheck pressure this time. Capion around two defenders. Now she's out towards center ice, loses the puck right there at center ice. It's tipped in as Curry tried to find Carlos. Carlos couldn't quite get there. Sent out towards the circle, right onto the stick of a College player. Coming back to get it is Embry, who finds Fallon. Fallon waits, chips it forward off the glove there of Curry to slow it down for Embry, and Embry fighting for it against Kelly Potter. Potter nearly gets it and does take it away from Carlos, sends it behind her own net. First player to it is Beatty. Beatty with a little bit of time around one Beacon and all the way out in front for Megan Lembo. Lembo will chip it in behind as she gets a little bit of a butt check there from Alexa Capion. And it comes out to center ice. Marin Brown, the first player to it. Brown will flip it forward, trying to find Curry. Instead, it's flipped in on Myette, who will cover up. And she'll have to hold on to it as only one Beacon was back. 16:40 to play in regulation between these two New England schools. Met 11 times in the first decade of play for UMass Boston. 5-5-1. The Beacons trying to go back on top after Connecticut College defeated UMass Boston 7-0 a year ago. Actually, last December in 2014, so about 13 months ago. Armstrong ahead for Avison. Avison can't handle it, and Avison will flip it back towards center ice where it's controlled by Olivia Good. Good flips it just past the outstretched hand of Ariel Gallucci, and the Beacons are going to be called for a penalty, I believe. No, it'll be delayed offsides, and they'll come outside the Beacons' defensive zone. 16:06 to play. UMass Boston looking for that elusive goal, as the Beacons have yet to win a game this season that they've trailed after two. The Beacons have also yet to play an overtime game, as it's Bovey out in front. Great chance backhand, another save for Chester, as Bovey may have taken one too many touches and allowed Chester to anticipate the move. That's a nice breakup there by either Bianchini or Smith to create it, and then a 2-on-1. Bovey had a decent look on goal. Chester, though, another save. She was 71 of 73 over the weekend as Smith nearly found Bianchini with a centering pass. Those 23 saves, that means she's now made 104 saves on 106 shots, as College nearly was called for too many men. A nice job there by the player who was coming off to make sure the player coming on for her would wait until she played the puck, as it's Carlos right at her own door, rather Smith. And Smith will come off. Coming back on for the Beacons is Edie Moritz. Chester also is working on back-to-back shutouts, as she's made at least 48 consecutive saves. A little bit of a collision right on the far circle. Myette covers up, and she's able to cover up before Lauren Bishop can get a second chance. 14:46 to go in regulation. College, the lone goal from Elena Golateri. Face-off won there by Moritz. Over to Gallucci, coming over to try to get it is Barry, and Barry's not going to be able to get there in time. Armstrong comes away with the loose puck, but can't clear the zone. It's picked up by the captain, DeRouge. DeRouge with it on the near side. A little bit of pressure coming from Moritz, and Moritz is able to chip it around, looking to get it over to the far side for Beauregard. Beauregard's been the player who stayed out there when the fourth line has gotten minutes, as it's been her with Moritz and Barry. Moritz able to jump in front of that attempted shot and knock it out of the zone, but it's flipped right back in there where Gallucci will play it. Gallucci to the near side looking for Barry. Barry couldn't connect, but Barry, a nice poke check to not get back out towards center ice. Back into the zone for Conn College as UMass Boston will get some changes. Chance here as the Beacons slow to get out, and it's Anktil. Anktil right into the glove of Myette, and we'll get a stoppage with 13:48 to play. Connolly and Carlos, the top two line centers, and Carlos wins another one. She's not known for her offense. She's more of a defensive forward, very physical player who's very good on the penalty kill, and she's also been very good in the faceoff dot. Here's a chance here for Connolly Myette to stop, and she'll sprawl on top of it. Carlos was 10 of 12 through the first two periods. She went 14 of 20 last week against Trinity. Lindsey Berman wants to have some words with the referees, but no one's coming over to talk to her. Not sure what that was about. Carlos in there with Stephanie Izzy, and now Izzy will be escorted out. And Gualteri checks in as Carlos wins it. Almost right onto the stick, though, of a Conn College player. That was Paiva darting forward. And now Fallon has to work her way around the referee, Frost. Embry intercepts the pass. She's around Betty. Coming over to help is Potter. Embry tries to center it for Curry, just a little bit too far as it's kicked away there by Catherine Chester. Nearly a great pass from Embry, just a bit too far forward. Curry couldn't get there before the goalie. Coming away with the puck behind her own net is Capione. Capione trying to dart to the far side, has to dart back behind as she sends a pass for Fallon. Embry gets knocked down, and it's picked up by Potter. Big hit from Brown, and she knows it as the Beacons will be called for the penalty. Brown came in with the shoulder. Too much physicality for the women's game, and that'll be the second call against Marin Brown. Thus far, Conn College 1 for 1 on the power play. If they score here, that could pretty much do it with the way that Catherine Chester has played. Brown's played really well, but that was a no-no and right in front of the referee to boot. Avison in the faceoff dot against Conley. Conley appeared to have won it, but Avison darted through and almost cleared. Shot goes through traffic a little bit wide there from Paige Michelle. It's a checking call there against Marin Brown. On the season, Conn College now 8 of 34 on the power play. The Beacons penalty kill has allowed 7 penalty kill goals in their last 8 games. Michelle, another shot, and it's poked home. Ashley Anktil coming from Paige Michelle, and the Beacons trail by 2. It's been almost identical goals. Both times a shot from the point. This time it was tipped home rather than tipped home off the rebound, and the Beacons trail by 2. Both times penalties coming from Marin Brown. Both times the Beacons unable to clear up the traffic in front, and this is becoming a difficult one to stomach if you're Lindsey Berman. Your team's played so well on 5 and 5, but the penalty kill is now 8 goals allowed in their last 8, and they're 0 for 2 on the power play. That's a big part of it, as Rachel Myette really didn't have much of a chance on either of the goals she's allowed today. Bovey ahead for Smith, has the puck poked away, but right back onto the stick of Alexa Capione. Controlled here by Beatty. It's the 3rd goal of the season for Anktil. As it now to go to the far side. And it's controlled there by Beatty, leaving it off for Anna Bleck. Bleck behind the net, over for Paiva. Paiva being pressured there by Fallon. Back out top for Beatty. Beatty to the near side, finds Good. Good shot doesn't get through. Fallon gets in front of it, flips it over for Bianchini. And Bovey tries to give it right back, way too far ahead. As it's picked up this time by Elena Gualteri. Gualteri around Fallon, still with it. Shot Myette the save, and she'll hold on with 11:05 to play. So the 2 assists on that goal. Paige Michelle And also give an assist to Lily Connolly as Myette sprawls out once again. The Beacons outshot College in the second period, had the better end of play, but here in the third, it's been mostly College. The best chance coming from Christina Bovey as the Beacons had a 2-on-1 chance. Another face-off win from Alexandra Carlos, but comes in the defensive zone. Carlos hasn't had nearly as many looks in College's offensive zone as Carlos can't find the puck amongst her skates, but College offsides as the puck just barely trickled across the blue line. 10:40 to go in regulation. The Beacons deficit is two power play goals. The first from Elena Gualtieri, the second from Ashley Anctil. Both off shots from the point. And the Beacons now have a 2-goal deficit to climb as Avison tries to center in front. Instead, she finds the back of the cage. Beauregard slips to the ice, and it's picked up by Kate Cole. Cole still controlling it onto the stick of Brady Breyer, and ahead for Megan Lembo. Fallon clears the zone, too strong for Avison, and it's plenty of time here for Good. Good will dump it back in where Fallon will chase. 10 minutes to go exactly here in the third period. The Beacons need to score twice. Going up against the red-hot goaltender in Catherine Chester that hasn't allowed a goal in over 100 minutes. Up top, it's Capion. Capion, hard shot, kicked away there by Chester, saw it the whole way. It's Beauregard with it. A period of brief possession here for the Beacons. Another shot from Capion, and that one appeared to go well wide, although I didn't quite see it. Capion can't keep it in the zone. She's in a foot race and wins it there against Lembo, but it'll allow the Beacons to get a change, but also allow College to get a couple of fresh skaters out there as Beatty's the first player to it. Beatty onto the stick of Ada Black, who gives it up, but it's played behind the net for Potter. Potter stripped to the puck by Bianchini, can't find it, sends it around the near boards onto the stick of Fallon. One new Beacon out there as the Beacons playing 4-on-5. Fallon gets it right back, tries to dish it over for Bovey, knocked down, and Fallon trips up a College player. Incidental contact according to the referees. Bovey in there with two College players, and it's Beatty coming away with it. Up ahead for Anctil, who just scored that power play goal for the Camels, and College will send 4 new skaters out there. Embry at her own blue line, trying to go ahead for Bovey. Instead, she's off with that pass, and the Beacons will send 2 new forwards out there. It's controlled here by Bishop. Shot, Myette the save, and she'll be forced to hold on with 8:30 to play. Folks, make sure to stick around with us after the game. We'll have an interview with Lindsey Berman, the final statistics, and a look ahead as the Beacons will return to conference play with a 2-5 conference record thus far, potentially falling to 2-6. Conference play might just be the remedy the Beacons need, as the Beacons are 4-2 in conference play, including a very impressive win over St. Anselm College, one of the top teams, not just in the NEHC, but in the entire nation at the D2, D3 level. Chance in front, cleared away by Galucci. Back up top, it's Michelle. Michelle's shot knocked down, almost gets all the way through, but goes wide. It's Cross with it, back out top. Cross gets the puck right back from Cole, and Curry tries to clear the zone and does so. Chance for a 2-on-1. Embry the trailer. Curry with the player in front of her, tries to get around her, and great defense from Paige Michelle. There's no wonder that she was the defenseman that the Connecticut College SID elected to nominate after that great defensive week in which the Camels allowed just 3 total goals in 3 games. She's also got a good 2-way game going with an assist in this one. Avison the shot, another save for Chester, who might just be unbeatable on this day. She's made over 30 saves, including 26 in the first 2 periods, and has stopped well over 50 shots in a row. Face-off win there from Brown to the point for Fallon. Fallon down low for Beauregard on angled shot, but no Beacons there for the rebound. Bringing it out of her own zone is Michaela Igo. Igo, the shot from the circle into the glove of Myette, who has to be credited with having a very good game. Only 2 goals have come down a man. Player in front of her, not much she could do. But that's not going to be much consolation to Myette, who wants to see this team start to rack up the wins. Face-off coming between Brown and Paiva. Brown wins it back. And now it's Avison onto the stick of Beauregard. Taps it right on net, as otherwise it would have been an icing. Beauregard still fighting for it there. Working against Kelly Potter. Behind the net, it's Michelle. Michelle working with Bianchini. It's picked up by Brown. Brown tries to escort it back to the blue line for Fallon. Instead, Michelle comes away with it. Bianchini looking for options, sends a shot that might have deflected off of Paiva. Either way, it goes well wide of the net. It's Bovey in there with two players. Bianchini giving chase with Michelle right on top of her. Michelle willing to just kill off some clock as Smith comes away with the puck for an instance. Michelle comes back over and forces the turnover. Sent out towards center ice. First player to it is Fallon. Fallon right along the College bench, and it's collected by Lauren Bishop. Smith comes away with it. Smith trying to dart towards the net. Couldn't get the shot off. Capione whiffs on it as well, but it's kept in by Embry. Embry skating through three players. Back behind for Smith. Tries the wraparound chance. Chance for Embry. Smith is down. Puck still loose. And it's Embry leaving it off for Curry, and her shot goes wide. She had a wide open net on the near side and couldn't put it on target. The Beacons did such a good job on the forecheck. A couple of collection of players. Smith out there with Curry and Embry, a collection of first and third liners. And Curry collected it, took her time, and then on the attempted wraparound chance on the near side, just put it straight across rather than down. And that cost the Beacons what would have been the first of the two goals they needed to get back into this one. Curry sends it purposely wide, looking for Carlos. Carlos leaving it off for Avison. Avison tried to send it back across for Curry. Knocked down and brought out of the zone as Carlos trips up a College player. Pass a little bit behind of Gualtieri, and we're going to see Carlos head to the box for the trip. And with just 5 minutes to go, that's going to make the uphill climb a little bit more difficult. So that's the third penalty on the Beacons. Thus far, College 2 for 2. Needed just one shot to score their first goal. See, they can add to that total. They're now 9 of 35 on the season. They win the faceoff as that also hurts. Carlos, a great player in the penalty kill and the Beacons' best faceoff taker with Morissette out of the lineup. Probably, period, with the way that Carlos has played recently. College set up in their man advantage as it's controlled here by Igo. Igo behind the net for Anctil. Anctil scored the last power play goal, sends it just a little bit wide, was hoping for the rebound with Connolly on the doorstep. Beauregard will send it in on Chester. The minute and 30 to play on the power play advantage, 4:33 overall in the game. Controlled behind the net by Beatty. Beatty up ahead. She finds Good. Good has the blue line and gets around Capione, and she'll look to kill off some clock and let College set up. To the near side for Anctil. Anctil darting with it behind the net, looking for a pass. Anctil has Beatty up top. Instead, she'll leave it off for Izzy. Izzy over to Gualtieri, who scored the first goal in this one. Back to Beatty. Beatty leaving it off for Paiva. Paiva tries to send it in on net, but Fallon got in front of that one. It's Embry ahead for Curry. Curry working 1-on-2, sends a shot a little bit wide as Chester followed it the whole way with 45 to go on the man advantage. Have to wonder if the Beacons will pull Myette as soon as this power play ends, down by 2 with should be about 3 minutes to play. Myette another save, this time off the stick of Olivia Good. Good gets it right back off the Beacons' attempt to clear with 27 to play. It's controlled here as the deflection left out in front. Anctil almost got to it, but Myette was able to get there first. Clear the left of the ice as Brown will be able to get to this one. Interesting move by Chester not to come out of her own net, but Brown can't win the battle. And it's controlled by Connecticut College with 5 seconds to go on the man advantage. It's Conley. Conley sitting around the boards as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey, but the Beacons can't bring their goalie out with the puck in their own zone, so a little bit more time that College can feel confident. Bianchini over for Smith, tapped away there, and the Beacons give it up right at their own blue line. 2:50 to go now. The Beacons trailing by 2. Tempted clear, unsuccessful there from Bianchini. Hard shot from the point from Cole, but it's knocked down. And now a turnover in their own zone, collected by Bishop. Bishop sends it behind the net. It's Armstrong. Armstrong trying to leave it off for Jetter. Jetter evades one player, and now she has some speed at the blue line. She's got center ice. Jetter still with it. Poked away right at the blue line, and the Beacons, if they get a touch, would be called offsides. 2:30 left. Beacons still haven't pulled Myette. Scolateri loses it at the Beacons blue line, and now Con College will kill off some clock in the neutral zone. Pass right to the blue line. Looking there for Izzy. Izzy's dispossessed. Capione over to Avison. Avison looking for Smith. Unable to find her, and it's dumped right back in. UMass Boston has not been able to get any possession and bring it into the Con College zone since the penalty against Carlos. Really, their best chance came and went when Jenny Curry had a chance, the hot hand of Jenny Curry, and unable to put it home on an empty net. To the far side, back to Beatty. Her shot trickles through. That would have been a difficult one for Myette to stop, but it went just wide. Minute and 30 seconds to go in this one. Myette hasn't had a chance to go to the bench, even if Lindsey Berman wanted her to. Beauregard can't handle it. Golateri leaves it out for Beatty. Beatty thought about the shot. Now she'll bring it down low onto the stick of Izzy. Izzy looking to kill some clock. Now she'll wind up. Hard shot, and Myette makes the save, much to the happiness there of Jean Goodwin, who might have had a shot heading right towards her helmet as she was ducking out of the way behind the play. .110 to go, and the Beacons will call a timeout with a defensive zone faceoff coming up. Have to wonder when and if the Beacons will be able to pull Rachel Myette. There's 70 seconds remaining on the clock, and the Beacons in danger of being shut out. For the first time this season, the Beacons do have a pair of shutouts, wins over New England College and Nichols College, but have not been shut out. They were held to 1 goal against Trinity and Plymouth State, but they had scored in every game prior to this one, although still a minute 10 left on the clock. Took the Beacons until the final 19 seconds last Tuesday to score. It was Alexander Carlos who has scored in 2 in a row, trying to keep that streak going. On the other side, Catherine Chester looking for her second consecutive shutout. So we'll take a look right now at the shots. Chester has made 36 saves, so she's now stopped over the past 2 games 61 shots in a row. And it's just been a very, very strong performance from the junior, who didn't see a lot of time behind Freilich, the senior from a year ago, who played so well. But this year, Chester's done a great job. The Beacons win the faceoff. It's Curry one-on-one. Curry shot, Chester the save, but at least the Beacons will get Myette off the ice with a minute to go, as Myette was heading off, and now she will come off for the extra attacker. So another good look for Jenny Curry, but unable to beat Chester, and you wonder what kind of shot will be required to beat Catherine Chester today. As the Beacons win the faceoff, it's Carlos back to Capio. Now it's Curry trying to send it in. Instead, it's turned over. Golateri with Curry in front, and she brings her down, but Golateri's shot goes wide, so it'll be 5-on-5 now with 48 seconds to go, and Myette's going to have to come right back out as Jenny Curry put it right onto the stick of Golateri and forced to head back to the penalty box. 4th penalty on the day against the Beacons. Con College 2 of 3. So the Beacons man advantage. Turns the extra attacker lasted just 12 seconds. As Carlos won the faceoff, but Curry couldn't avoid the hard pressing pressure from Con College right at the point. They've shown that all day as the Beacons 0 for 2 on the man advantage. Fallon able to get it ahead for Beauregard. Beauregard the shot, another save for Chester's. Myette out of her crease, but hasn't come off with 25 seconds left, and the Beacons down a man. Nice move there by Cross to get around Fallon and into the zone. Now Cross will slow it down, back up to the point for Michelle. Michelle's shot knockdown. Capion to clear with 10 seconds. That should just about do it, as Chester's calling for the icing, but the Beacons only have 4 players out there. 3, 2, and 1, and that'll do it. Connecticut College, their second consecutive shutout this season, their second consecutive shutout against UMass Boston. They earned the all-time series lead at 6-5-1. The Beacons unable to beat a hot goalie. Second consecutive game, they played pretty well, have been very close to a NESCAC performance. The Beacons fall to 1-4 against teams out of the NESCAC this year, and definitely going to be some frustration after a 2-6 non-conference mark, but the Beacons still in the thick of things in conference play at 4-2 towards the top of the Division III teams. Top 2 teams to watch out for this season are clearly Norwich and Castleton. Castleton nationally ranked for much of this year, but that 3rd seed could be the Beacons' prize as if they can top Salve Regina, who's been a team that's really been the thorn in their side over the past couple years. We'll take a break right now. We'll play some commercials, then we'll have the final stats, an interview with Lindsey Berman. And our entire post-game show as the Beacons give up 1 in the second and 1 in the third to fall 2-0, their second consecutive loss here in January.
Take me out to the ball game, take me out to the crowd, buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
The UMass Boston Beacons baseball team, who went 23-15 this year, and have consistently been a leader in their conference without having a home field to play on. That will change next season.
I am so happy and excited to join Boston College High School and your wonderful president to celebrate this symbol of our institution's friendship as well as our shared commitment to this special neighborhood. Not only are we thrilled to be building a new ballpark with our neighboring teams and for all of our neighboring teams, but we could not be happier to provide more space. It's not just for us, Father Monin. It's for the youth of Dorchester and South Boston to be able to play as well. So your field will be used by quite a few of us for so many wonderful things.
But my hope is that the sound of the bat, that's so irresistible to us at Fenway Park, will echo through this field and will call further together the academic communities of BC High and of UMB, but especially that it will call together the youthful neighborhood communities of boys and girls who are awaiting it so eagerly.
I can't wait to put those shovels in the ground. Thank you.
We are celebrating the second annual Division III week, April 8th through 14th. The NCAA's largest division is home to more than 175,000 student athletes who dedicate themselves to rigorous academics, competitive athletics, and the opportunity to pursue other passions on and off campus. This special week is an opportunity for us to observe and celebrate the impact of our student athletes on our campus and in the surrounding community. During the week, this Division III member will be holding at least one activity highlighting academic achievement, athletic accomplishment, or campus and community involvement. We already conduct recognition programs and community service activities throughout the year, but Division III week is the perfect opportunity to build on these efforts. These types of activities will be happening on campuses across Division III, having a powerful impact on the division's efforts to tell this story across the nation. Look for more information about Division III week activities on this website, and please join us in celebrating our outstanding Division III student athletes.
I'm Elizabeth Clavin, sophomore business management major from Edina, Minnesota. I love being a part of this volleyball team. Volleyball is what brought me to UMass Boston. I looked at our recruiting website one last time and saw UMass Boston on it, came out for a visit the next week, and it kind of hit all the boxes that I was looking for. In a good city, good academic school, good volleyball program. It had everything I wanted. Although it was far away from home, I knew this is where I wanted to be. Winning 6 back-to-back LEC titles is really a dynasty, I think, and Terry has really focused hard on recruiting and building this dynasty and continuing to build a program that can continue to win championships, and it's really lucky to be a part of something this great. Last year, I was the Little East Conference Defensive Player of the Year, All-Conference second team, NCAA Regional MVP of the regional tournament, ABC All-Region Honorable Mention, and New England Women's Volleyball Association All-Rookie Team and Honorable Mention. I think my favorite game would have to be playing in the regional championship last year. We played against a really good Williams team, and I think that match, we started off a little shaky and lost the first set. We've lost in the whole playoff season, and I think that kind of shook us a little bit. We came back firing, and we're ready to go those next couple games. Our coaches are bringing in a lot of really strong girls who want to make a commitment and make an impact in this program, and I think that is why we're continuing to do well and will continue to do well for the next few years. Being a student here has been really awesome as well. I've recently started taking more of my business classes and found that's a good choice and a good fit for me. And eventually, I hope to open my own business and kind of be successful and do what I love at the end of the day.
And welcome back to the Beacons Ice Arena. Connecticut College defeating UMass Boston 2-0. The goals coming with 1:40 into the second period. It was Elena Gualtieri on the power play from Olivia Good, and then 7:48 into the third, another power play goal. This time Ashley Anctil from Paige Michelle and Lily Connolly. UMass Boston and Connecticut College even in shots, 38-38, as Con College defeated the Beacons in that third period by a 14-12 margin. Catherine Chester, another great game, 38 saves. Rachel Myette, 36 for the Beacons. Face-offs, 30-24 in favor of UMass Boston. But why am I telling you this? Let's look at the final stats. As the biggest difference in this one, the power plays. Connecticut College, 2 for their first 2. That fourth one really shouldn't count too much, as they only had about 48 seconds. But the Beacons, unable to get anything going on the power play, now 1 for their last 19. So we'll take a look at our 3 stars. And no surprises here. Catherine Chester, her second consecutive perfect game, as she's had back-to-back shutouts. 38 saves in this one. Rachel Myette, 36 of 38. And Elena Gualtieri, the very talented freshman for this Connecticut College team, continues to excel. She scored the game winner in this one. We'll take one more commercial, and then we'll have Lindsey Berman here in the Beacons Broadcast Network.
Hi, my name's Carl Joseph. I'm currently a criminal justice major. I'm a senior. I am from Brockton, Massachusetts. In basketball, I play small forward / power forward, and in track, I'm a high jumper. Basketball has always been my first love. The favorite part was probably our win over MIT. Like that was tremendous. I almost came to tears just from where the program has come from where I first came here to where we are now. It's just amazing, and I love it. Honestly, I was recruited for basketball. My high school coach actually emailed the track coach here, and she walked into the gym one day and it was just like, here, you, come talk to me. And I was on the track team. It really wasn't much of a choice. It was a great honor my freshman year, just being able to become an All-American, finishing 4th in my first ever national championship meet. It was quite the time of my life. My junior year, we received our LEC championship rings from our sophomore year. And coming in into my freshman year at UMass, I was able to witness the volleyball team win their championship and the soccer team, and the only thing that I really wanted.
Welcome back to the Beacons Broadcast Network, joined here by Lindsey Berman. Coach, played very well in 5-on-5. You played a team that just beat the team you lost to last week, and this was a much closer game, but special teams continue to be a problem. 1 of your last 19 on the power play, 8 power play goals against you in your last 8 games. You had a week to work on this one. What are you going to work on in the next couple of days before you go back to conference play on Friday?
Yeah, I think we do have to work on the special teams, and it's funny because we talked about it the other day. We kind of talked about that statistic with our power play and our penalty kill, and it's frustrating because I think we do things very well. We pick up 6, we're aware, and then they tip the puck in, so that's frustrating for our kids. But yeah, I think we just have to work on our consistency too, in addition to the special teams.
One player who I think really picked up her game from last week was Rachel Myette, who played very well in the second and third period against Trinity, but didn't have it going as well as she probably wanted in the first. Was it just how well she played in practice, or was this maybe a big step forward for her after another little bit of a struggle? I mean, 36 saves today, and a couple of them really difficult.
Yeah, she's unbelievable, and she gets a little bit better every day, and I think that Trinity game was frustrating for her, and she had to bounce back. So I think it was more mental for her this week, and she had a really good week of practice, and she was ready for tonight, and I think she played very well.
6-8 overall. A big part of that has been your non-conference. You played 5 NESCACs, which you didn't get to pick the schedule, but obviously you had a lot of big challenges. How is that going to help you guys when you head back to conference, play some teams that maybe aren't quite as talented, maybe don't have as many goal-scoring threats?
Yeah, I think they've trained us pretty well with the NESCAC schools. They're so fast. They move the puck really well. And our girls, I think they finally can see that they can play with anyone. And I think it's, once those goals start to fall for us, that'll feel good for them, because I think our girls work really hard, and they're just frustrated right now because they're not seeing the results. But playing these NESCACs have been a great warm-up for going into conference play.
Thanks so much for your time, Coach. Good
Thank
luck
you.
on Friday. The Beacons back in action as they travel to New England College. They'll host St. Mike's on Saturday at 1. We'll have that broadcast for you. We'll take one last commercial break, and then we'll close out here on the Beacons Broadcast Network. And those were the instant replays from that third period of play. We'll take a look right now at our production team. My name is Seth Dorensky, your producer and play-by-play guy. Carl Poss doing double duty, directing and doing instant replay. A little bit of help from Anthony Searles. Sam Gitcher filling in as a director, doing a great job today on the graphics. We didn't have a sideline reporter, so Steve Witowski gets no credit at all. Matt Coakley, Taylor Paulina, Carly Robinson, and Kayla Harris are your camera people for this one. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Remember, we've got a doubleheader in basketball tomorrow night, 5:30 and 7:30. The men's hockey team returns home on Friday at 7. And if you're only interested in women's hockey, 1 o'clock, we'll have the broadcast starting at 12:45 as the Beacons women's hockey team hosts St. Michael's College in a New England Hockey Conference contest. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a great rest of your day.